Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school. So you can feel cool. Give it to me, baby. Baby. Yeah.
Hey guys and dolls, welcome back. It's me, Cora. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a very fun hair tutorial. This is what I would call a poodle do. It's really basically curl fluff that has slight definition. It's inspired by 1950s poodle hairdo, which is a very curly updo that looks very much like this, maybe a little bit more sculptural and a little more clean. Whereas I tend to prefer this type where it's a little, I wouldn't say messy, but it's a little less specific in shape. You kind of have free reign to sort of shape it how you want. I also tend to like mine just a little bit off kilter, just a little bit to one side or the other. I find that it works for me. This hairstyle is perfect for this time of year. It gets your hair off your neck. It looks beautiful. Because you're going to spray the bells out of it with some hairspray, it actually will help to fight humidity. And if it does get a little bit frizzy, that's okay because it still looks awesome. It just looks more ethereal and goddess-like. I will do this in a more sloppy version and get sort of like a Stevie Nicks Gibson girl hairdo. Well, it's a little curlier than like a Gibson girl, but you know what I mean. There's that just, you know, pile it all on top and pin it kind of look. Sometimes I'll do it a little more structural and go for a more authentic 50s style with it. It really just depends on what you want to do. It's so versatile. Once you learn kind of the framework of doing this hairstyle, I think you're going to have a lot of fun playing with it. I'm going to have the link in the description bar to two different videos, which are a little more like 1950s style, structural, sculptural curls for doing the poodle hairdo, whereas mine is a little more relaxed. It's a little more modern in my opinion. Not that those are bad in any way, shape, or form. I absolutely love them, and I love the ladies that I'm linking, which is a Vintage Vanity and Miss Rockabilly Ruby. Miss Rockabilly Ruby I actually met in Las Vegas last year, and she is an absolute peach of a girl. I wanted to do this tutorial for you guys because this is a hairstyle I really like. It's very easy to do even though it is labor intensive with the curling part, but the actual styling is like brush it out, pin it up, hairspray it. Pretty easy. It's just about fussing with it until you're happy, and that's pretty much it. So on that note, let's go ahead and get started with this tutorial. So the first and foremost thing you need to do is curl your hair. Now, depending on how tight you want the curls, that'll depend on how you want to curl it. You might only do some like kind of lackadaisical kind of curls, you know, really quick, mamby-pamby. I don't know why I'm saying these things. You already have curly hair, you're already set. You can just skip straight to the styling. You can set your hair in a wet set if you'd like. You can also just do an overnight pin curl set or something like that, whatever you want to do. My hair is really rather stubborn, so I used a teeny tiny little curling iron. This is a Hot Tools 1/4 inch. This is my absolute favorite. I love the Hot Tools range because they're inexpensive, but they have features like the swivel cord. I like very small, tight curls because I think that it really helps to get that really like poofy, poodly look. It gives me a lot of volume, and then I can sort of rock that curl set for a few extra days because it was wound so tight initially that for all the hair on the top of the head, I curl the hair going away from the face. So then when it comes to curling the sides, I actually curl them rolling up towards the crown of my head because we're going to be styling our hair going up. It just makes sense for me, and I tend to get a tighter curl when I curl up versus when I curl under. So I grab the iron, kind of lay it down, and then wrap the hair in a ribbon formation. And what I mean by that is that you're not twisting the hair. You want to be very careful not to twist the hair because then you can kind of create a lot more tangles in that way because you're just kind of, you're changing the way the hair is going to interact with the iron, whereas if it's all flat, it's going to get an even distribution of heat, but it'll also be faster that way. When you curl your hair in this sort of wrapping formation, occasionally the ends are left out, so sometimes I'll have to come back with the clamp and just sort of clamp in those ends and give them a nice little curl. Works really, really well. I do that all over my head. It takes about an hour to curl my entire head. So it is a tedious process to go ahead and get the hair curled, but once it's curled, you're good to go. So here we have our curls. Let's go ahead and start taking these pins out and we can get to styling. I have all different types of pins in my hair. I have some bobby pins. I have some nicer pin curl clips. You go back to Sally Beauty Supply and get more of these. These are like little single prong ones. They're great for doing these little tight pin curls. Isn't that cute? I feel like curlies too. Look how bouncy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take these out. So what I have now are super, super tight curls, and actually I kind of like this look. Honestly, I would probably just like brush this out and wear it. What I want to do is break up some of the curls, but I don't want to do like a brush through where I take a brush and sort of soften them out so that I could do like a more vintage style, which is what I would normally do. So I'm going to very gently run my fingers through. You can even just grab individual curls and just sort of separate hair and then sort of smooth it out to keep some of the curl intact. Just whatever you want to do, whatever feels natural to you. So I'm going to use a little bit of a pomade to loosen up and make my hair a little bit shinier. So you only need a little teeny tiny bit. This is the Lay Right Super Shine. This is a water soluble one, so it's great for fine hair, or if you just aren't a big fan of trying to get those like waxy pomades out of your hair. So I spread that out over both my hands, and I'm going to smooth and soften that over the curls. But now it's time to start to style it. The main thing for me is to sort of gather all the hair up into a ponytail at about the crown of my head here. So I kind of just start grabbing big bunches of hair and pushing it up towards the top. On the sides, I want the hair to sort of be directed more towards the top of the head than towards the back. Make sure everything's still staying smooth. Sometimes it helps to just go upside down to grab the hair and smooth it out. Now what I like to do is sort of slightly twist the hair, so that way it kind of locks it into place. And I'll grab one of these. This is like a little clip that you'd use for doing a French twist. And I will use that to secure the hair to the top of the head. Now these sides here are loose. It's okay, we're going to deal with them in a moment. You can also, this hair is now loose as well, so you can kind of play with it from there, but the hair in the back is nice and secure. Now I usually will clip in the front as well, just to secure all the hair away from the hairline, so that the curls are what's falling forward, like that. And then you can start to grab your bobby pins and start smoothing out the way that the sides lay. So it's literally just comb, grab, place, pin. I'll do my pin sort of one going one way, one going the other way to lock it in. And then you can pull your hair over it to hide the pins. Now I like this slightly off kilter. I like it a little bit to one side or the other rather than just like in the center. I feel like that looks a little I Love Lucy-ish, which is also a good look, but just not what I'm going for today. So I'm going to keep that in mind as I'm pinning. I'm going to pin this side just slightly lower than the other side. And you know the wavy side of the pin, you want that to be down as you're sliding it in so that it grips the hair. So once you have those all in, you want to just go around the perimeter, and this is just me. I'd rather have a few extra bobby pins tucked in there holding it in than not have enough. So we'll go back in, add a couple more, and I'll worry about how I'm going to form the front later. And then I will make sure that the curls in the back and on the sides cover the bobby pins. You might need to do this more than once. So I like the way that most of this is laying, except for this section here. I haven't decided if I'm going to curl it up with the rest. That's the great thing about this hairstyle is there's literally no wrong way to do it. It's just about fussing with it until you're happy. So right now I'm just going to work on something that I know I want to smooth out, like these curls back here, which are a little frizzy looking. I'll just sort of wrap them around my finger and then mess with them until they're laying the way that I like. And a little frizz is good, I think. I think it has like a romantic, ethereal look. What I'm going to do, since I'm not liking the way that one's laying, I'm going to use pins to pin it back, and this will shorten it because it's a little, just laying a little too long. See? Cool. This right here was that curl I didn't like, I think. Anyway, in any case, it looks good, so who really cares, right? Take a little bit more of this wax, place it on my little baby hairs which are misbehaving. Just get them to calm the hell out. And that's how you do it. It's sort of a relaxed version of a poodle do, a little more on the rockabilly side of the thing. It's a little less like true 50s, but I like this. It's very, very easy to do. It's not complicated, just a little labor intensive in terms of curling the hair, and then just kind of figuring it out. Since there's no real right or wrong way to do it, it's just about fussing with it until you're happy. So now it's time to hairspray. I'm going to use Beauty and Pinup's Fierce. Look, shake with this spray, couple little bursts. And then what I like to do is run my fingers along and sort of cup the curls, because this will help all the little flyaways lay down. And I'll even lift it up underneath to smooth all those little baby hairs down. So that is how I do sort of a rockabilly 80s meets 50s inspired poodle updo. I don't really know what to call this, exactly, but this is a more relaxed version of a poodle updo. Okay, so as an alternative, I wanted to show you guys something else you can do. You can take out all the pins from the front now that you have all the other hair secure, and you can sort of do something like this where you're gonna see some of that hairline, and you're gonna push it a little further to the side. I really like doing this when it's a little bit off kilter. I think it looks really nice. So then what I like to do is take a bobby pin and kind of get an idea of where that little wave is. And you will want to make this as smooth as possible because you still don't want a bunch of little baby hairs. And pin it in so that way you'll still see that little wave of the hair coming over. I can see one of my bobby pins from earlier. Just kind of tuck some hair in front of that. And now you've got all this hair that's sort of coming to the side, and you can pull it down a bit, readjust it so that it has a little bit more of a romantic look to it. The other thing that you can do is, I've started this process already, pull some of the hairs out of the back, twist them around to make them curly. You twist them one way or the other, and that way it just has a little bit more of a romantic look to it. So that is two different ways to rock a poodle do. So I wanted to show you guys this alternative just to demonstrate that you can wear this so many different ways. You can pull it out and make it a little more blown out. You can make it tighter. You can make it a mohawk. You can make it just strictly an updo. You can make it just the bangs. You can make it look very authentically 1950s and really twist the curls and make them a little more sculptural, a little more structured. You can wear it super loose like this. You can even tease the hair and make it really big and super 80s. You can do so many things with this basic tool of how you curl the hair and then put it up. Even rock this a little bit different every day for a couple of days. It's just a really great hairstyle to have in your arsenal. I am now ready for the day. I'm about to head out and have lunch with my husband. Have a fabulous day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Remember to be vintage or tacky. Just be your own kind of beautiful. See you, bye.